Hello, my name is Sarah, and today we're going to be discussing my top 10 tips on how to start a booktube channel. Okay, so disclaimer, there's no right or wrong way to make a YouTube account, and as well as I'm not an expert, I'm not like some super prestigious booktube person. I'm just, you know, someone who's been doing it for like on and off 4 years. And this is just some knowledge that I've acquired through my times, the trials and tribulations. Also, for those of you guys who don't know, Booktube is literally just the community on YouTube that talks about books. There's also Bookstagram and like Booklur, which is like the Tumblr and Instagram sub-communities, but it all falls under the realm of books. It is not tied to any one genre or age range, or you could be talking about some classics or you could be talking about some trashy smut, like, I don't know, just books, reading. So with that disclaimer out of the way, let's get into the meaty, the juicy bits, the tips. And they're not in any order, really. They're just, I made a list on my phone, and now we're gonna discuss. Okay, so my first tip is to just get started. You don't need to really have like a plan. As long as you, the main thing you gotta do is just decide that you wanna do it. So you're like, oh, I wanna do a booktube channel. I wanna do a booktube channel. I wanna make YouTube videos about books. Boom. Step one. As long as you like make that conscious decision, you're like, I'm gonna do it, instead of just like hemming and hawing and being like, I don't know, what can I add to the discussion? I feel so awkward. Like, I've never made YouTube videos before. I've never made book YouTube videos before. Like, I think that might be hard. All valid questions. However, once you get the ball rolling, I feel that it gets way easier as you kind of go along. Tip 2 is sort out your equipment. So, if you want to make YouTube videos, you need a camera. And, hot take, controversial, it literally does not matter what camera you have. The main things that matter are lighting and sound. Use a phone, or use a webcam, or use whatever you have available. You don't need to go out and spend $1,200 on a DSLR and like an audio rig. Like, I've been making YouTube videos for since 2006, and like I went through the whole thing of like, I started with my webcam in my iMac or whatever, used like a physical camcorder with a tape in it, then I got like a little point and shoot camera, then I used a really old DSLR, and then now I'm using a Lumix Panasonic G85 along with a Yeti microphone that is connected to my camera beside me. This has been years and years of trial and error and like slowly adding new equipment. Oh yeah, I also have soft boxes. I've had them for like 6 years. I bought them off Amazon. Best investment ever, because then you're not tied to shooting in the daytime. You can shoot at any time. But it's not necessary. Like, none of these things are necessary. Literally all you need is a camera with a good phone or a webcam, plop yourself in front of a window with some good natural light, and hit record, baby. That's all you need. And also, I mean, for editing, I use Final Cut Pro. I have used iMovie and Premiere, but Final Cut Pro is like the one that I use the most. But they make it very easy to edit videos now. Would recommend editing though. I know you can just leave it as like one long thing, but you want to be able to cut out all the ums and the ahs and the awkward pauses, so you're going to need to get some sort of video editing program, but most computers come with some sort of video editing program. iMovie does great. I used it for years, like years, and it worked well. So yeah, just get something. There's so many out there, and there's even apps on your phone for editing, so if you do a phone video, you could potentially do it on your phone or your iPad or whatever tablet device you do have. Oh, okay, I just turned my little thing on and I see that my glasses are reflecting a lot, so I'm gonna take those off. Oh, I'm blind. Okay, so apologies for the reflections that were happening. Tip 3, read. If if you want to make YouTube videos on books, you gotta read. There's not really ways of getting around it. I mean, you could argue like, oh, watching a movie that was a book adaptation, that could fall under the realm, but you gotta read if you want to talk about books. That is the whole point. If you don't like to read, I wouldn't recommend making a booktube channel. However, I feel if you didn't read, it would be an interesting concept to like force yourself to read and like document the process of you just like, I don't like this, but that, if you're watching a video on how to make booktube videos, I'm assuming you like to read and you're interested in the community and you're interested in just like talking and starting a conversation about something you're passionate about. If you're passionate enough about something to make a video about it, then put it out there. You gotta read and get the passion, get it all going, and you gotta throw a bone in there and you gotta stew, baby. So tip number 4, get passionate. So this, I kind of just like briefly blurbed on that in my reading tip, but you have to be interested in reading and in your content to make it worthwhile. If you're not passionate about making videos, it's gonna suck. You're not gonna get internet famous, you're not gonna get this praise and money and all these things, most likely. So if you're doing it for those kind of reasons, they're valid reasons, but they're also unrealistic because that's probably not gonna happen, especially in such a niche community. So you gotta have the passion of the books and the process of making the videos. Because if you're not having fun, people can tell, and then it's gonna be boring. Like, I know if you look back at some of my videos, I just wasn't into it, and you can tell because the videos suck. Like, they're just not good, and they're super annoying, and I look back at them, it's like, ugh, what, like, that was so dumb. Like, if you're not interested in what you're doing, people can tell, and they're not gonna be into it. So you gotta find something, like some twist on it, and get passionate about it. And once you're passionate about it, it just opens up all the doors, essentially. So even if you can't verbalize your thoughts properly, or maybe your editing's not great, your camera's not great, as long as the passion is there, the rest will fall into place. You just gotta keep the train moving, you know? Tip number 5. Watch other people. So I've kind of talked about the community a little bit in some of the other tips, but really the booktube community, it's one of the best perks about making YouTube videos about books, because it's such a great community. It's very positive. If you look at like booktube drama and then like other communities drama, it's just like so different. Like, it's nothing. So one way to maybe get inspiration or start making friends is to just watch other people's videos. I'm assuming you've probably seen some of the booktube videos floating around. There's so many of them. Start watching them, subscribe to some people, maybe leave some comments, but okay, never promote yourself in the comments. There's nothing worse. Promote yourself if it is relevant. So say someone makes a video on a book and you go to that video and you're like, oh, and you watch the whole video, you have a constructive, positive comment like, oh wow, I really like how you did this, I agree with this, I disagree with this, blah blah blah. I did a video on this on my channel and I kind of talked about this, that, and the other thing. Like that, I mean, don't make a habit out of it, but that's like a decent way to potentially do that. But don't just go to someone's account and then not watch the video, or watch the video and just be like, thanks, love the vid, check out my channel, sub for sub, like all that shit. Just no, you get marked as spam pretty immediately. When people do that on my channel, they do get flagged, and then every so often I'll just go and look at all like the flagged like comments, and there's quite a lot of people do this. So don't be one of those people, because no one wants to see that, and it's not going to make people check out your channel. I'm kind of getting off track a little bit, but the main point is to just interact, watch other people, see what other people are doing, see what's trending, see what books are trending, and get inspired. My next tip is to get involved in the community. So watch videos, comment, subscribe, see what other people are doing, see what is popular, what books are popular, what trends are popular, watch other types of content, like watch beauty gurus, and Books and Lala does this amazingly. She'll watch beauty gurus or other YouTubers and get ideas, and then transition those ideas into booktube videos. And I think she is like the prime example of the best type of content that booktube has to offer. I'm a huge fan of everything that she does, because she'll spend months on one video. Just like, I'm gonna read these 6 books and then I'll video it all and I'll talk about the books, and there's like a clear beginning and end resolution. Like, and she's very innovative is what I'm trying to say. but you really want to involve yourself in the community, because I find that like getting friends and talking to people, it's what makes it so fun. Like if no one is interacting with you and you're not interacting with anyone else, it's just kind of like you're a lone ship just like floating along this ocean of vast nothingness. So you want to be able to just like go see that there's like a challenge happening. You're like, oh, I'm gonna do that. And then you do that, and then your video is going to be recommended to all the other people watching those videos. Get some interaction, get some friendships going, some connections, and then from there, if there's a tag, maybe do the tag. If there's like a readathon or a read-along, or like the Booktubeathon is like the most popular one that happens in the summertime. But yeah, so all I'm saying is just get involved, talk to people, do some tags, do some challenges, get yourself like on the recommended bar of other people, because that's always like a great way to boost your channel. Don't buy all the books. When I started booktubing, I had just been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and I was very depressed. And so I turned to the booktube community as a way to ignore my problems, and then I just started buying books, hundreds of books. And like over the past 4 years, it spiraled out of control at the beginning. Like it was just like I would go to this used bookstore down the road from me, and they would carry new and used books, and I would just, oh, someone talked about that, I heard about it, I'm gonna buy it. And there's always this kind of like pissing contest of, oh, who has the biggest bookshelf? And you fall into this trap very easily, I find. I was reading books from the library, but I would like also buy them. I would just buy anything that I heard somebody talk about, because I was like, oh, frantically trying to be like, I need to prove myself, I need to buy all these books, I need to read all these books, I'm so behind. Like all these things were like going through my head, and now looking back, it was so foolish of me. I shouldn't have done that. You don't need to buy all the books. You want to read, but you don't need to buy them all. Go to the like literally, please, I'm begging you, go to the library. Borrow books from friends, buy ebooks. Like you don't need to own thousands of books. And I know it's like, oh, but Sarah, you have 4 bookshelves. Yes, in the past like year or so, I've gotten rid of at least 200 to 300 books. Like it was insane how many books I've gotten rid of in the past few years. I went too hard on Book Outlet. I went too hard on like the used bookstores and Amazon, and like if there was a new release, you bet I would be pre-ordering it, because I don't want to miss out. And this like FOMO, this fear of missing out, it financially was a negative impact on me. Like I spent all my money on books, I had no money for other things, and it was no matter how much you bought, it was never enough. And like it kind of goes back to like our consumerist culture, but you don't need to do it. If you want to buy them, buy them. But just don't fall into the trap of buying everything immediately, because you really don't need to own the books to be a booktuber. You don't have to own any books to be a booktuber. As long as you have words and thoughts and opinions, that's literally, and a camera, that's all you need. Tip number 9 is to try new things. And so this is kind of like, you want to get started, you want to kind of set yourself apart. I kind of talked about this. A lot of these kind of blur together. You don't want to just do the same thing over and over and over again, because you'll get bored, you'll get burned out, you're not going to want to do it. People aren't going to want to watch when you're burned out, or if it's boring. So if you only do tags, mix it up. If you only do hauls, mix it up. You want to keep things similar and safe and accessible, but you want to be able to set yourself apart from the crowd. So Caleb from Insane Reader does a really good job of this. He is very relatable and he's super funny. He started off like more in like a safe zone, always like bringing his own personality in, but as he got more established, as he got more comfortable, he loosened up and he started mixing up his content and making more controversial things, and so he got a lot of attention because his content is great, it's hilarious. Caleb took a chance by making various rant review videos, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily want to make like negative videos. I'm not saying like make rant review videos because you'll get views, but he took a risk because that wasn't something that a lot of people did when he started making them, and they got super popular, rightfully so, because they're super funny, and he reaped the rewards. And I'm not saying specifically do that, I'm just saying do something like that. Like if you don't see people doing something, do it. Like the worst thing that can happen is that someone might get mad at you in the comments, or someone might leave a nasty little thing on Twitter being like, no, I don't agree with you. I mean, take those chances and keep things interesting, spice it up, spice it up. Tip 10, the last tip. This is one that I am a hypocrite about, but it is to stay consistent. I don't necessarily do this. I used to upload 3 times a week when I first started, and I did that for ages, or at least once or twice a week. Now I'm old and bitter and I don't really do that, but the way YouTube algorithms work is that if you're consistently uploading and consistently getting views, they will promote you, and they'll promote you to your subscribers that go back time and time again. You don't want to do too many, because then if you get flooded with videos, a lot of people won't want to watch them. But if you upload on a regular basis, it's good for the algorithm, and it's good for your subscribers because they don't forget who you are. You want to consistently bring good content to the table. If you're unable to do that, it's not a bad thing. It's just, if you want to make some traction, then consistency with any type of YouTube channel is what you want to do. And also make them over 10 minutes long. I know that's kind of like a meme now, but it's really true. But yeah, so I mean, the long and the short of it is to just do it, Shia LaBeouf it, get passionate about it, get into it. Don't be afraid of doing different things. Do it if you want to. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. If you start making booktube videos and you realize, this is not for me, switch it up. You don't have to delete your channel, just maybe start making some other videos or some other stuff and just play around with it. And it's gonna be awkward and painful when you first start, and you're gonna be like, oh, no one watched this, or oh, it's no one's paying attention. But I promise you, if you upload consistently with quality, well thought out videos with somewhat decent video and audio, you're gonna do great. You're gonna do fine. People are gonna want to know what you have to say. They're gonna want to listen. They're gonna want to watch. They will be engaged, and you'll make some friends. It's gonna be fun. And I'm not here being like, you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a friend, and a friend, and a friend. But yeah, those are all my top 10 tips on starting a booktube YouTube channel. My name is Sunbeemz. I make videos about books and pop culture over on my channel. And thank you, Alan, for letting me, steal your channel for a little bit. He has a video over on my channel that you can check out down below if you are so inclined. But yeah, in the comments below, let me know your thoughts on my tips and any other tips you would add, because there's so many good tips out there for potential or future booktubers such as yourself, potentially. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye!